All right. Hey, everyone. This is just a little short, sweet mini episode that I thought we could throw in here for celebrating a little holiday that's coming up on Friday, and that's a celebration of Samhain. Samhain is something that is celebrated across a lot of witchy backgrounds. It's actually where we get this fun little holiday where we all dress up and get to pretend to be somebody else for the day. And it's actually where Halloween. Okay, hold on just a second. Let me get him down because he is like scratching. Well, sorry, Nyx is like right there. Anyway, we're here to talk about Samhain. It's spelled kind of funny. A lot of people pronounce it Samhain if you've never heard it sounded or like said out loud before, but it's Samhain. It's a Celtic tradition. It is practiced over here in the autumn after the equinox, and it kind of dates back over 2,000 years. It began in Ireland, Scotland, and parts of northern France. And it was a tradition that they felt like the worlds blended together. You're talking about, where the veil is, they say, thin, and the spiritual world and the physical realm kind of blend together. And we are walking along with, either our past loved ones, maybe not so loved ones, and all sorts of other fun little spooky things. And anyway, we're just kicking it off with here, and we're going to talk a little bit about it and what kind of means to honor Samhain and why we call it the Witch's New Year sometimes. So anyway, kind of starting it off, Morgan, I mean, how do you feel you celebrate in some fun little ways with Samhain? Like, what are some things that you like to do?
So having kind of being on the newer side of this journey, I really, really love the connections it has with other traditions. And actually, Sabrina touched on this earlier, just how it's kind of connected and tied with, excuse me, Dia de los Muertos. I'm so tired. You're gonna have to filter that. So let me get my. Um,
She's like, let me roll my R's real quick.
but I really like how it connects with like my cultural background. So Dia de los Muertos. And even in the Catholic Church,
Hmm.
so All Souls
All
Day, All
Souls Day.
Saints Day,
All
exactly,
Souls Day.
just how it all beautifully connects, and it's just some of the things we always joke about, just how we're all kind of saying similar things and doing similar things, and
Oh yeah, and I think it's so cute when you see a lot of people like arguing about it, be like, "It's the Devil's Day," be like, calm down.
just trying
Um,
to see my grandma, like,
I
leave me
just want to
alone.
talk to my mama on the other side real quick. I got some dead animals I'd really like to see.
No,
Um,
my Sasha, oh my god, don't get me crying. Anyways,
my
that
dead
was
baby
yesterday.
duty.
But yeah.
What about you, Jade? What do you like doing?
I just feel like I really like to use that time to honor loved ones, pet or pets that are gone. Sometimes I do like I typically like do a little space for them, even if it's just for like the evening, day of prayer, that kind of
I
thing.
mean, it's just
And
like setting
then
up our altars in a way. I
yeah,
always
I
keep
really like
some.
to honor it by like baking in season things too,
Mm,
like all throughout the month. I've kind of done that. I made like an apple cobbler the other day. My house smelled delicious.
ooh,
Mm,
where was
Uh,
that invite?
I know. No, I'm gonna make next time we get together. I was like, I gotta make this again. Like I've never made
You
that
know, when you
recipe, and
hit
I
a
was like
recipe and
really
you're like,
proud.
ooh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this one's going to the next group meeting. Oh yeah.
I mean, Sabrina, I know we had talked about this is kind of your first year really celebrating. What do you feel? I feel like instead of asking you ways you've honored it in the past, what do you feel like would be a fun way for you to honor it this year?
Honestly, it's kind of funny because even though I am relatively new, I guess, to holidays and learning about those things, I've always loved Halloween and I've always thought about it
Mhm.
being the veil thing, my little Halloween movies. And I swear, like Halloween Town and all of those things where they're just
It's
like, oh, we get to go to
magic,
different
all of
dimensions and
this.
different worlds.
Mhm.
yeah.
And kind of like I was, telling Morgan earlier, I love the movie Coco. And just the first and foremost, it's beautifully. The colors are
Ugh.
gorgeous. And so I guess for me, realizing that I think I've always celebrated, but didn't have a name for it. And then I think for this year, now having a name for it, um, probably just kind of sitting with people who have passed, honestly, and um, also like asking them to really, you know, step up because we're going through retrograde and life is lifing. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna need y'all to,
You were supposed to be taking some bullets for me here and
yeah,
shooting me some
yeah, like
things.
I did it,
I'm tired of life
once, yeah.
lessons I've
The
learned.
veil is, pretty slim right now, so I'm gonna need you to come block some stuff. No, I'm just kidding, but
Oh,
yeah, stuff like
you kn
that.
I totally agree because I feel like, well, as we've talked about at my house, I have relatives that are here to pass through and people that I love, but anything other than that, it's not allowed. I mean, that kind of like goes back into what the history of it was, is the villagers actually used to, build bonfires and to guide your ancestors back to your place. You give them a place to gather, you give them a place to hold the energy, but you also would dress up as other things or disguises to confuse like more mischievous or malicious spirits. And that's kind of where we got the tradition of Halloween, All's Hallows Eve. But those are the more like fun aspects of it. But talking about the veil being thin and being able to really connect with past loved ones, whether it be family, friends, animals, any kind of energy that you want to honor, anything like that. It is really important to, bake the foods, talk about the memories, hold the space, and honor, the people that have passed. Because even if it doesn't feel like a lot of the times that they are there, they are there and they are watching us, because whether we appreciate the lessons in the moment, we have been led to this path of enlightenment. We've been led to this path and this journey of kind of more or less leveling ourselves up to even be able to sit here and talk about this stuff. Because on average, minus my like friend group, people are not like thinking. And I would say like my FYP does not tell me that, but I will talk about like just in everyday interactions. I feel like I sound like an alien when I talk to most normal people. I would say normal people. I don't know. No, you know what I'm saying? Like normies, I don't know. Muggles, I'm just saying. But like, saying all of that, you plant a seed though when you're talking about these things, and whether people resonate exactly with witchcraft or what the origins of Samhain is, it is still something that is honored across so many different
Mhm.
cultures.
Yeah.
And that, you know, goes without saying that like everybody's feeling the same vibes around this time of year. And even
Well,
though,
even the season is like
yeah,
honoring, right? Like it's shutting down, everything's getting
Mhm.
colder. You're
Time
supposed to go
changes, gets
yeah,
darker.
inside, reflect a little more. Yeah, there's less daylight. Like even nature itself is saying like now is the time of reflection. It's to honor what like, the spring was brought, the abundance and prosperity and all the beautiful
100%.
fruits of your
Your
labor.
harvest. We just
Yeah.
celebrated, the autumn
So
equinox, your
now,
harvest.
yeah,
Miss
we're
Autumn
appreciating the
Equinox over
harvest.
here, who literally birthday, okay, Miss Virgo. And, that is such a beautiful time anyway, because it's the
Yes.
beginning of a lot of stuff for, kids and everything going into the fall, starting their new school year. And it's kind of ironic that that's the beginning of a school year and they start really getting into things. And, you know, what is it? The Gregorian, is that what they call it? The Gregorian calendar? you know, puts everything into a 12-month like basis. And yeah, it used to kind of more line up with seasons, but with global warming and all that other stuff, we are, well, today we were sitting at what, 85, 87 degrees, and it felt
And
like 90
tomorrow's
something.
66.
Yeah. And tomorrow, 66 in the morning. 49. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I'm very excited about this. We've talked about this a lot. I'm so tired of sweating. Like, so tired of sweating. But I'm so ready to feel like we're in the fall season. We are in the downhill of fall. We're going into the, you know, winter season, the solstice, in practice at the end of the year where we are reflecting, we are hibernating, we're, you know, really getting to use the fruits of our labor of the year of what we've collected. And I think, you know, capitalism will try and tell you otherwise, that we need to be gearing up, we need to be buying, we need to be doing, but you're literally fighting a natural cadence, a natural rhythm that the animals follow, the your body follows whether you realize it or not. That's why
And your
when it's
ancestors followed.
yes, and then when it's so busy and you're just losing your mind, being pulled in so many different directions, it's easy to lose that perspective and get sucked up into, a lot of that energy that's being pushed around. Veil is thin through all of this. It's not like it's
Hmm.
gonna be closing up anytime soon. And I feel like as we move forward more and more through the years, the veil's only gotten thinner. I mean, like, them little babies that are growing up right now are in touch. Let me just say this right now. Like, and for the first time, I feel like our generation hasn't squashed that, if that makes sense. Like, we have
Yeah.
embraced uniqueness in that sense, and gifts and abilities, instead of being like, you're silly, I don't believe you, you're just talking nonsense and stuff. Like, there's none of that. Well, with us.
We let them have their imaginations, and I love that.
100%. Like, I'm not going to squash your dreams. I'm not. I mean,
Two things, piggybacking off of what you said and Jane
yeah.
said, being, I guess, that this is my first year celebrating. I absolutely love the idea. Jade said something like the season of like rest. And honestly, it's kind of like taking a deep breath and just
Hmm.
relaxing. And then I think the second thing is, with Samhain, it's like the fact that we are honoring the people that have passed on, but at the same time, I feel like this part of the year is also when we kind of get closer to our families. Also,
Hmm.
we have Halloween. We get together with siblings and the
Friends,
kids, and
family,
we're yeah.
anything.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, like
I feel
it's
like we honor death by like honoring life during
yeah,
this
Hmm.
time. Like
yeah,
everything
and
slows
honoring
down.
family, like togetherness.
It's like
Yeah,
you have to enjoy like nature slowing down because it's time for us to slow down. It's time to be like, yes, these are
Oh,
the
it's your
connections we
final
make. These are
descent
the
into the
connections.
winter months, 100%. It's
I'm
that final,
hibernating.
like, hey, get your stuff, get ready to listen.
Yeah,
If I
it's a
could
time to make
hibernate,
plans, not to act on them.
ugh, if I could hibernate,
If I could
I'd
hibernate.
be such a
I would
nicer
be a
person.
bear.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, why are y'all making me work right now? Y'all
I
don't
mean,
want me right now.
apparently they do get up and actually go and eat, and it's more of like a kind of like a fugue kind of state where they go up and basically I thought they stayed in their little den the whole time.
No, yeah. When I learned what the actual meaning behind hibernation was, I was like, oh,
I was
they don't
like,
go no coma.
I don't know who
Well,
told me this
because I thought,
eventually.
don't they like? Correct me if I'm wrong, but like they eat a bunch of stuff to plug up their butthole.
Yes.
Yeah,
So that's
that's what I
why I
was gonna
thought.
say.
Yes, but they continue to try and, like, it's not a lot. It's like a little bit at a time just to kind of like keep up their energy storage, but I don't think they
Yeah.
go until
So
springtime, if that makes sense.
it's just like their bodies slow down, like their metabolism, the heart
Yes.
rate, the body temperature goes down. But it's like a survival strategy.
There's like that frog that just freezes
Now
until
that's
There's also
crazy.
turtles
That's
too that do
crazy.
that. Put me in a freezer. Just take me out
And
when I'm
then, or
ready.
like the tortoises,
take
you
me
can
out.
like like bury them or freeze them or what? Not. Don't get me the line, but it's
Bring me back
or like
though.
Bury me in the dirt. Put me in my coffin, and I'll rise when it's
one of
time.
my friends. He has a business and he has a tortoise and he literally, I believe, like buries his tortoise. Like
Mhm.
that's what you're supposed to do. I'm like,
And if you
oh
don't, it actually really messes them up too.
yeah, yeah,
Like, really messes them up. I don't
You're
remember
supposed to
what
bury
channel.
it and leave it there.
You have to dig it back
something
up.
like that.
I
Like
think they like bury themselves, like they'll burrow kind of thing.
yeah, and
If
if
they're
they
outside, they will. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But if
so
you're inside, you
commenters
have to
like
do it
if
too.
you got a
Yeah.
tortoise, let us know. Don't get me the line. I'm
Is
All right.
curious
my
now.
I
Anybody
think
who
my
has a
Kevin,
grandmother
let me
tortoise.
has
know.
one, and I remember like when they were babies, like in the tank, they'd like burrow into whatever the material is. So like that makes sense in my brain. I think they like burrow, and
Hmm.
you can like help them, but in nature they
Mhm.
like burrow.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have a
yeah.
turtle, but he's just in the water all the time. So
But I mean, it makes sense if you think about even like beach turtles. But I don't know. I mean, tortoises they burrow, but yeah, I know it's a
Yeah,
little different with the
because
water
sea turtles
based.
bury
But
all their stuff in the sand and everything, and they
I
have to
love
like
tortoises.
emerge.
So
bury in your head. See, man.
apparently, and if it's helpful, apparently, because I just looked it up,
Thank you.
bears do a lighter form called torpor. Might have just butchered that. It's similar to what like the common, animals that actually hibernate. So the squirrels, chipmunks, hedgehogs, bats, certain frogs, reptiles, blah blah blah. That's why bears can come out every so often. They can wake a little more easily if disturbed. Apparently, it's a little different for some other
There's a
animals.
actual word for it. No, I love that.
Okay, sorry, we went on a
Oh, well,
completely
I
total
know because
tangent.
now I want to look up like animals. Are there any animals that like sleep the whole time?
Listen, I'm sure when we get done with this, our phone will listen enough that TikTok will show us
Sorry,
after we
my
get
bad.
off
Yeah,
here. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's fine.
our FBI agents are working hard here. Okay.
right.
Um, so kind of going back a little bit, I kind of want to not necessarily end in, but like touch on just a kind of final few points. This is just a short and sweet episode. Why do we call Samhain the Witch's New Year? Obviously is originated with Celtic roots and everything, but it's celebrated typically from October 31st to November 1st, and it is celebrating obviously the end of the harvest, the end of the fall season, going into what we were just talking about, the winter seasons. But this, I feel like, is more of the more well known across the board, where, like we were talking about, a lot of different cultures celebrate this time of year,
Hmm.
especially this weekend. You know, a lot of the themes, even with churches, witches, all of the things are talking about what we were just talking about, the rebirth and death cycles of life, where, we're following patterns. We should be following the patterns of the world, the energy, the animals. Like we should be practicing a lot of things as well. Using this time to self-reflect, to kind of make our plans and make our anyway. Obviously, as witches, we celebrate the Wheel of the Year. And in the tradition of the Wheel of the Year, Samhain is the
Beginning.
beginning. You know, it's basically the biggest one before you celebrate actual Yule and stuff in the winter, where you celebrate the darkest night of the year. Other than that, I feel like we pretty much covered a lot of that. Is there any other things you guys wanted to touch on when it comes to, Witch's New Year or Samhain or anything like that?
Super glad you clarified that because I was about to be like, yeah, back to hibernation.
Yes.
I got really curious. So for any weirdos like me, they don't sleep entire time, any of them. It's just like long sleep, but
Naps.
they wake up to eat, sleep, drink, pee, whatever.
Same.
That's kind of they don't wake up to sleep, but they kind of do. You go back to sleep.
I mean, either way. Um, I feel like we talked about some great ways to honor the season this year. Um, I mean, it is whatever works for you, whether it's baking,
Yeah.
whether it's lighting a candle, whether it's just sitting down to have a conversation. I love doing tarot reads at this time of year because I feel like answers are real strong and real loud. So I really love doing divination like at this time of year because I feel like I can get a lot of answers that not that I could necessarily ignore, but they're real loud right now. So there is no, I can't, la, 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 la,
Yeah.
la. There's none of that right now. They're in my face and they're real loud right now. And, you know, as
Yeah.
we gear up to go into winter, I just say, hang tight, keep your chin up. We're all going through it right now. Like it's okay to relax. It's okay to rest and say no to things that you don't have the energy for.
I
You
could say
don't
no.
have the things for. The good
Unfortunately, no, you can't.
Except for you guys, you
All
can't
right.
say no. No,
You're
I'm just
right.
kidding. No, I think I think
You know
we all
what's
covered.
crazy is like they should we should fight to make these like more across the world. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, not that I necessarily need time off of work, but I would really like my boss to understand, like, not today, you know?
You know what?
Like
I need a
today,
week.
yeah, yeah.
I
That's what's
personally
Yeah.
going
think we
on
should
right
go
now.
back to putting ourselves in a tent for a week while we are on our periods. Personally, I vote to be exercised during this week.
Our personal tents. I don't like anybody. I probably won't like y'all either. Sorry.
Oh, no, no, this is
Personal tents.
individuals. We'll have our own
Yes.
little yurts. It's fine.
Yes.
Well, we
Well,
can gather it around. So if we
FaceTime.
come out and we
FaceTime.
can resource the chocolate, the protein, and everything else we need for it. So, it'll be fine.
Wave.
All the irons.
All the iron, all the irons. But
Too
anyway, I
funny.
love you guys dearly. And I hope everybody stays safe this Samhain and All Souls, Dias de los. Say it for me. I can't ever say it
Dia
right.
de los Muertos.
I'm not going to try and say it because I mess it up every time. So, anyway, I love you guys. I am
In
tired
Spanish.
and I'm going to go finish top coating these nails. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good one, guys.